Hi everyone, Richard here, the Urban Warlock. I just wanted to do a quick video to discuss that having a belief does not make you right, because this seems to be a little bit of a theme that keeps cropping up in my life at the moment. Just quickly, side note, I'm going to be wearing black a lot. I'm following the kind of tradition of mourning for a year. So I do have a washing machine, but this is my get up for the next year at least. So yeah. I've had a lot of people come into me recently who've been wanting to start a kind of spiritual journey of some sort, and they're interested in the tarot or the psychic medium work I do, stuff like that. And they've been asking questions, and it's brilliant. I love it. I love it when people get passionate about this stuff, because I'm like Pete Waterman and his train set when it comes to this stuff. Part of that comes from being on the spectrum, and people like me, we get a little bit, you know what I mean? Anyway, the reason why I say this is because I am happy. I am more than happy to impart my knowledge. Okay. However, and I say this when I do readings as well, at the end of the day, it's your journey, and you take what you want from that. Now, there's another tarot reader, intuitive tarot reader on here that I follow. Her name's Charlie Rose. I don't know her personally, but she's really good, and she's got lovely energies from what I can pick up on. And she says something really, really important, and apologies if I get the wording ever so slightly wrong here, but when she's doing her general readings, she says, take what works for you, leave what doesn't. And I want you to kind of keep that in your mind as I'm talking and we're going through. Now, when people start off on their kind of spiritual or belief journey, whatever you want to call it, the first kind of point to call is to, I suppose, go to people with more experience. People who've been doing it a long time. They might have written books, they've written articles and stuff like that. That's brilliant, because there is a lot of information there. So you should go there. The issue is that sometimes, not everybody, but sometimes some people then take that as gospel, and they say, well, I can't think that way, or I can't do that because X, Y, and Z, who's been doing this for 30, 40 years, says it's this way. Shit. Bullshit. With this work that we do, with, paganism, religion, spirituality, nobody can say they are right, because at the end of the day, we just do not know. We will not know until we pass over, and that's when we will know. Okay. So my point is here, don't, idly follow what somebody says and kind of take it as gospel. Now, I'm going to dip into religion a little bit, a tad, in a second, just to prove a point, prove my point, should I say? I'm just going to give you a couple of examples, just to kind of clarify what I'm supposed to be saying here. I did record this originally, and it went over 11 minutes, and I didn't realise that you can have 10 minutes on TikTok, because I'm new to it. So this is why I'm talking quite fast. So I do a lot of paranormal work. I do a lot of spirit entity curse removal, house cleansing, stuff like that. Now, I believe in channeling and I believe in attachment, but this might surprise you. I do not believe in possession for 3 reasons. The first one is that I've never, ever seen any evidence that would convince me, ever. In my opinion, it's either that somebody's faking it, somebody's extremely mentally ill, or it's hysteria. Okay? Now, I say I don't believe it. I don't say I'm right about that, because I could be wrong. Something might come along to convince me. Okay, and I've had a debate with another medium about this, and they were absolutely shocked and horrified that I did not believe in possession. I don't. Okay. Number 2 is that if our body's a vessel and it carries our soul, I cannot see how another energy can enter that and fill that space and take it over. I can't. Point 3 is that if they could do that, surely this would be happening left, right, and centre. There was this big phenomenon in the 70s when Exorcist came out, and it's died down a bit since then. So that's why I don't believe in possession. Okay. For me, my witchcraft roots, my pagan roots, and what I do now, it's just a belief system, and I take what works for me, and it's all about perception. Magic is about perception and intention. Now, just to give you another quick example, I do events, and on the events you get a lot of people who, without being disrespectful, because it works, They have a lot of similar branding. They go for the kind of crown chakra, violet, and they have angels and stuff like that around. Now, I don't work with angels, but I sometimes have angels come through to me when I'm doing readings. Now, for them, they see angels as the Aryan, white-winged, haloed beings. For me, I see them as human form, swirling purples and blues, no facial features, energy comes off them as wings. Now, I'm not saying that I'm right and they're wrong, and they shouldn't be saying that they're right and I'm wrong, because it's all about perception. It's how we see things, okay? Now, the issue that I do have a little bit of an issue with religion. Number one, because I'm a pagan and the Christians tried to wipe us all out. Number two is because religion, although it is a beautiful, positive, powerful thing and it changes people's lives and it makes them better people, I get that. It also causes really horrible things like war, okay? And unless you're a fucking idiot, you'll know that war is bad, okay? And that is based on religion saying, I am right. This is the way and I am right. And that is the issue that I have with religion. And that's not meant to offend you if you're religious. It's just my opinion, okay? Now, I had to look this up, but Christianity, for example, there are six main different variations of Christianity. Okay, and that is not taking away, that is taking away all the wonderful, weird, bizarre ones in America. If Christians can say, I am right, why are there so many variations? It's because somebody's come along and they've adapted it. They've gone, well, that doesn't really fit in with me. The overall concept is good, but I don't like that bit, so I'm going to adapt it. Now, that in theory is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine, don't have an issue with that. You know what I mean? You're finding what works for you. It's when we then say, I am right and you are wrong and there's no in between. So my point to this whole video, it's not about Christian bashing, so please don't think it's coming, it might come across that way, sorry. My point of this is that when you're on a journey, be it spiritually, religiously, whatever, find your own path. Do not take what people say to you as gospel, regardless if they've been doing it for 30, 40, 50, their whole life. If they're one of these natural born mediums, we've all got it in us. We've all got it in us. It's just that their nan or their mum was one, so they grew up around it. Anyway, side point. That is just their belief system. Okay, that is their perception of their reality. Do not take what they say as gospel. Find your own path. Learn, question, take what's right for you, leave what doesn't.